Welcome. Today I want to talk about the recent TFD Skin Contest and more specifically the, drama swimming around it. Now, if you don't know, for the last 2 years, the first Descendant has had a skin contest every year. So basically, loads of different artists can make their own skins, essentially, and then putting up into this contest where other people like me and you can vote for our favourite skin. And eventually, the winners will be selected, and those winners will be added to the game. Last year, we had 3 skins. I believe this year we have 2, not including, fellows and vehicles and everything. So I believe last year was a fellow skin, maybe a male skin. I doubt it, though. And this year is a hoverbike skin. We're going to be talking about the character skins, and there is a reason for that. So this skin contest has kind of gone through a bit of drama over the time. Firstly, it was AI skins, and a lot of these AI skins were getting, pretty decently voted, and so they basically turned around and were like, yeah, we're not going to be allowing that, and they actually turned around and removed all of the AI-generated skins in this skin contest. That's all cool and all. But as time goes on, we get closer to the end of the skin contest, what literally just happened. And I don't remember the names of the skins, so I do apologize, but I do remember 2 of the names of the skins. What are going to be the 2 that I'm going to be talking about today. Mainly, at least. So basically, in the finalists, there were 4 skins. There was one called the Dark Blood Queen, Moon Veil, and then there was 2 other skins that I can't remember off the top of my head. I think one of them was a Fallen Angel type thing, and the other one was this, Japanese style kitsune/fox type of outfit. Really cool. I'm a fan. And so basically it came to these last 4 skins, and at the time the Dark Blood Queen, or DBQ, was in number 1 with the Moon Veil right behind it, basically leading to both of these skins winning. However, this is kind of where it kind of took a bit of a turn, because Moon Veil had a lot of controversy, especially on the Discord, what I'm not really a part of, so I'm not going to be pulling up screenshots or anything about this skin of it as supposedly using AI. People ran it through multiple AI generators or detectors, and even used AI, OpenAI's AI detector, to see if this skin had been used through AI. Some of these detectors came back with 95-98% sure, and OpenAI even came back and said that there is a watermark that each AI image has inside of it to be able to detect that it's AI, and it was yeah, this is here, this is present, this is absolutely 100% AI. Now, quick side note, I don't support AI at all, and so I'm not going to take the word of an AI telling me that something else is AI, especially because we all know that AI is it just agrees with you no matter what you say. I mean, there are countless memes of people fake dying and then having things like ChatGPT or Grok or whatever talk to them and say you're right, if you have a peanut allergy, you shouldn't eat peanut butter, but you get the idea. So this wasn't mentioned, ever. Now, the rules of the skin contest do straight up outlie and say you're not allowed to submit AI-generated skins. However, this skin managed to get all the way down to literally the last 12 hours, and I haven't really been following the skin contest too much. But as far as I know, it ended, and it didn't win, despite being in the top 2, and there was nothing, as far as I'm aware, being said about it being AI. Now, the other skin, Dark Blood Queen, I will put a picture of it and Moon Veil on the screen here, but mainly Dark Blood Queen. As you can see, it's very, very explicit, to put it lightly. I don't know if I can find an image, but I'll try and show you images of the skin shown sideways so you can see it more and behind and everything. And the skin is basically just some sexy clothing on the wrists, the shoulders, and the legs, and then just some pasties and a pair of panties. Now, you can imagine this is a bit of a problem. And I actually did put a tweet out talking about my 2 cents on this, and it reads as follows. Oh, especially before I do read through that, this skin also didn't win. This skin just mysteriously disappeared. No idea what happened to it. This skin was number 1, and as far as I know, a lot of what I could see online, it was winning by a bit of a landslide, and then it just disappeared the minute the voting came to conclusion. And so here's what I said about it. Dark Blood absolutely should not have won, and I'm glad it didn't. That skin was too much, and it would have made streaming and uploading content on the game nigh impossible due to how explicit it is. I'm happy it lost, and ultimately, sure, tits are nice to look at, but if you're that down bad and you need a skin in a video game to wear but nothing, has nothing to wear, but pasties and panties, maybe just go tug one out. I have more of the risque skins, and I do like them, but I prefer the military skins they made since they're still sexy but also serves a purpose. TFT skins have been on this hypersexual train for a long time, and if it made Dark Blood Queen, it would only be the beginning on a long downward slope. I'm glad the 2.1 has a risque one and a more clothed one, especially if TFT does want to grow in the end of it. I'm happy with the skins that won, and sure, the person that made DBQ should get some compensation, but they also should have made an actual skin that fits the aesthetic of the game while being risque like the winners. With all that said, Nexon should have enforced harder rules. The skins last year were also sexy and served a purpose, and they need to set rules like disallowing AI like they have now, and a certain amount of the body, especially around the breasts and arse, need to be covered. Ultimately, I'm not happy that DBQ just got sniped out of the blue, especially because, again, it is a skin that I'm sure a lot of people would have liked. And I'm sure it's a skin that would have sold hundreds. I'm absolutely positive of that. The problem is, TFD, with its more explicit skins, they're tasteful, at least, in my opinion. A lot of them are quite tasteful. Sure, you do have the more out there, just straight up risque skins, like you had, the bunny suits, for example. Who doesn't like bunny suits? They're hot. Personally, I love them. But you still have other skins that have been added to the game, especially like the swimsuits, but are just being added because they are explicit, instead of having skins that are added that actually serve a purpose, are risque, and are still cool, as I said, like the military skins, or even the more recent pirate skins. The military skin set for the women is like one of my favourite skin sets, maybe even is my favourite skin set in the entire game, and the military skin for the males as well is like super fucking cool. I think that was like hitting the nail on the head of the direction that the skins in TFD should go, or at least as a base, where they can still be sexy, and they can still be risque, and they still can show skin, but they also look cool, and they serve a purpose, and I don't feel like an absolute gooner when I'm using them, so it's already just put out there. I have the Inez one, for example. I believe that's the only one of them that I own, and I use that skin on Inez nearly 24/7. It's a nice looking skin. If I see people using Dyers, or Haley's, or Nell's, or Serena's, it's like, yeah, that's a cool fucking looking skin, on a cool character, that has a cool purpose, and it isn't just made because here's some breasts to look at. I think this is a bit of a slope that TFD has been struggling with, especially with its identity when it comes to skins. And I think they did find themselves for a little while when they started doing the premium skins again, like how they did Nell's and Keelan's earlier this year. I think they were both really, really cool, and I do really, really hope that we see more skins like that, or maybe that was last year, I can't remember. But I hope we do see more skins that fit the aesthetic of the game, fit the vibe of the game, and still can be a little bit more risque. That's why I think Dark Blood Queen should, as much as it did technically win and it isn't being added, I think, as I said, the creator of it should get compensation in some way, but I'm also kind of glad it didn't get added, because it would have, again, just started this spiral of how explicit can we make these skins without them being straight up nude. TFD has already got a lot of things that you can consider quite hypersexual. I mean, you have cutscenes in this game of women just fighting and they're just moaning in each other's ears, and obviously every other piece of audio is cut out, and you just have, like, I remember last year when the or maybe 2 years ago, I can't remember, it's been a while, but I think April 25, I want to say, when Serena came out, and there's that one cutscene of Serena fighting Dyer, and they're just like rolling over each other, there's a knife involved, and it's just a bunch of moaning, and the TV that I was playing it on had all of its volume blaring out loud, and I'm very, like, in a house of like 4 people, and it felt so fucking awkward. Not me, by the way, not like 4 people, not including me, so 5 technically, but it was so awkward. You know, in the most recent story at the time of recording this, you have a part where Viessa slaps Haley's ass. This game has jiggle physics. They got at it. Like, DFD already is kind of running a bit of a fine line. Not that I'm complaining, but I think if they added Dark Blood Queen, it would have just kind of ended up in this situation of how risky and how explicit can we make these skins? You know, Dark Blood Queen at least has the shoulder coverings and the wrists, the wrist wraps, and like the thigh highs and the garters. Would it have just ended in a situation where you remove things like the shoulders and the wrist wraps, and you just have the entire top half of the body of these women wearing nothing but pasties? And then maybe you remove the thigh highs and the garters, and then you're in a position where the entire skin is literally just a pair of panties and pasties. TFD already has quite, as I already said, like risque, more explicit skins. Like you have the lounge skin where it's just a t-shirt and literally panties, and when it's raining outside, the t-shirt is basically see-through. And it's like, it really does get to a point. And so what I'm coming to this, and what I already mentioned in when I was reading out my tweets, was if they want to go off this slope, if they want to go off this heavy part of pushing these skins into the game, as say in 2 months' time, in a month's time, in 2 weeks' time, they make a post being like, we messed up our like skin voting thing, Dark Blood Queen is coming to the game, all this riffraff. My only hope is in a way to protect streamers and to protect content creators like yours truly, and anybody who wants to create any content of this game, there needs to be some way to filter these skins out, or to censor them, or to make them more, I guess, not as explicit. I don't know how to word that. So people can just do things like stream the game, and especially streamers, because a lot of these times, these guys will be playing the game for like 3 to 10 hours sometimes, and it's like, if you're playing a game that many times, you don't know how many times you're public queuing, you don't know how many like Albions you jump into, you don't know how many random people in teams, you don't know how many pieces of content you're doing. You're guaranteed to find at least one person with these type of skins, and if that gets shown, if there's one frame, if there's 3 frames, if there's 10-second a moment or whatever of somebody wearing one of these skins where they're just wearing nothing but pasties and panties gets shown on screen, there's a high chance that person, that content creator, is going to get banned in some way, or their video is going to get demonetized, or this is going to happen, or that's going to happen. Like there's a whole lot of problems that get arisen with that. And so what I'm saying is, on one hand, I'm glad that DBQ didn't get added to the game, because it would have just started the slippery slope where that happens all the fucking time. But I also do believe that they should compensate the creator of DBQ. On the other hand, and I mean that heavily compensate, like, not like the same amount as the winners are getting, like 6.2 grand, but maybe like 3k or something, like actually a decent compensation for a slip up on their part, especially to do with their rules. And on the other hand, though, is if they want to go this route, if they want to make these, like, certain skins be hypersexual and go completely off the rails in that area, then they need to add some form of skin filter or skin adjuster or skin, like, something, so you can toggle having, like, if the skin, for example, like DBQ1, where it's just, as I've stated many times, pasties and panties, the PNP, if you will, there needs to be some way to toggle that, so it changes into a random skin in the game, or the default skin, or something. Like, if you have Viessa, for example, running around in PNP, and you're a content creator, you need to have a option to disable that and to put her into her default outfit or her ultimate outfit, whatever is default for the character, or alternately make another version of that skin what isn't so super duper sexualized. Put her in like a short skirt or some shorts, or at least more coverage with the like pasties and panties. Like, there should be options here, is what I'm trying to get at. I love TFD, and I always will love TFD, even if they do go down that route of adding these type of skins. I already don't upload much content on it, and truth be told, is because I haven't really played it an absurd amount this year. This current season, Season 3, Episode 3, I think it is. Season 3, Episode 4, sorry. It's probably the most I've played since Season 3 has released. I'm like tier 145 or something in this Battle Pass. I just haven't had really much what I wanted to create content on. Whereas I feel like this is something that I should address and talk about, and it's something that it does make me slightly worried. I do hope that, again, the creator of DBQ gets compensated heavily, and hopefully maybe they can reach an agreement between Nexon and the creator where it can get a bit more censored, it can be a bit more high quality, since the quality of the skin, like, in the picture isn't that great. And That way, like, the skin can be added to the game still and not cause these massive problems. And that's where I think Nexon has done the idea of just taking out the equation, because I can imagine that content creators do bring a lot of drive to this game, especially by people like Dry Bear or Alyssa or Low Budget or Ornery Biscuit. I can imagine these people bring people to playing TFD. Moxie out there as well. I don't know if he's played it recently. I haven't really caught up a lot with TFD related stuff, but that's kind of my 2 cents, is a lot of people probably play this game because of certain content creators, and, you know, you find builds online, you find this online, you find that online, and it would really, really suck if all of that potential that TFD has, it could take one lucky video at a right time, what gets 300,000 views on YouTube, to get, like, boast TFD's player count by, like, 15-20k. You know, it is just these strokes of luck that might happen, and obviously you can't judge everything on a might or a maybe, but you always have to keep room open for that chance. If it does get added, I would like to see some way to filter it. If it doesn't get added, it still sucks, but it's kind of like, I don't want to be mean, but I'm glad it doesn't get added. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.